Hey, what is up, YouTube? Welcome to my office here in my truck. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also hit that notifications button just so you know whenever I upload a new video. Like, let's say for instance, Mr. Santa Claus just dropped off a bit of this header wrap. So I'm going to be posting a lot of videos on that here pretty soon. So now that I got that out of the way, let's get started. Now today I want to do a little experiment. Today it is really cold. Well, my cold. I'm here in South Texas, so it's 38 degrees Fahrenheit. And typically here, the weather, even in the wintertime, it's around 70 to 80 degrees. Summertime, it's around 90 to 100. So it's a pretty big difference as far as the range of heat and cold. So I always wondered if it's colder, and I knew the theory that if every 10 degrees you drop, you gain around 1 to 1.5% of horsepower, or somewhere around there. I'm not too sure. So if that's the case, I mean, that's a good 40 degree drop. And so that should be quite a bit of horsepower gain. So I found this calculator, and what it does is it takes the temperature, it takes the altitude, which I'm at sea level, the barometric pressure, and the humidity. Humidity right now is about 60%. Barometric pressure is like 30 something inches of mercury, if you're curious. And so what that does is it takes that, and then it goes in, and for whatever your vehicle is rated, it will say how many percent, or the percentage of the engine as far as the output. So right now it says the output is at 109%. So theoretically, if my engine is 400 horsepower at the crank, which I hope so, I haven't downed it, I cammed it, it's a 5.3, I have long tube headers, should be around that ballpark. I chose 400 just because it's an easy number to work with. So at 109% of output with the 400, if I do 400 horsepower times 1.09, it came out to 436. So if I did my math correctly, I'm not that great at math, if I did that correctly, I should gain around 36 horsepower. Now that was for ambient temperature around, so I know intake temperature, as far as the intake, is different. So I was also thinking, if it's the ambient temperature outside is 80 degrees, and my intake temperature is 90 degrees, so it's 10 degrees hotter with my intake, because it's in the engine bay or whatnot. So if it's 30 degrees outside, shouldn't it be around 40 degrees for the intake? So that's what I'm kind of basing this off. So it's still the same amount of drop, hopefully. If not, I may be wrong. If I am, put it in the comments down below and just be easy on me. But I got a cold air intake on here. That's a pretty decent one. So I mean, when it was 80 degrees outside and I was tuning it, the tuner was tuning it, I saw my intake temps were around 90, 95. So I mean, that's not terrible considering I haven't wrapped my headers yet, so it's really hot in the engine bay. So I'm hoping it's sticking around the 10 degree threshold for difference. Now what I'm going to be basing this off of is one of my first videos. Actually, it is my first video I ever posted on YouTube. It's just a 0 to 60 time. The difference between a cammed Silverado with the stock exhaust manifold and then just cammed with the aftermarket long tube headers. It's pretty significant. It was 0.7 second decrease in time. So that around there, and it was around 81 degrees Fahrenheit outside. So with that, and high humidity as well, I just had to throw that in there. With that, it was around, give or take, I mean, it was around 7 seconds. What I was doing, I would just film it, and then go back on my phone, use a stopwatch, and just time it from there. So it's not the best way, but it's kind of accurate. So it was around 7 seconds, give or take a hundredth of a second, but it was there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to base it off that. I'm going to go here. Right now it's 38 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to go do a 0 to 60 time. And I'm going to try to keep all the variables the same. The gas in the tank is right around the same as it was back then. There is a percentage of ethanol in my tank right now, which is also another variable. But I don't think it's too big of one. It's around 30 or 40%, I believe. Even less, probably. And new tires, but they're the same exact size, about same wear as well, and the same exact road I am testing on. So I'm trying to keep this as scientific as possible, even though it's kind of not really, but just because there's a ton of variables in this. So I want y'all to put down in the comment section how much faster y'all think it's going to be as far as the 0 to 60 goes. Right now it's around 7 seconds. I'm shooting for the 6s, hopefully. So yeah, just put that in there and then we'll find out together. Alright, so as y'all can see on the screen in front of me, it is 38 degrees Fahrenheit right now. I'm about to turn off traction control, get on the road, and then we'll hit it, see how it goes. So I just did this 0 to 60 time with the cold weather, and that felt pretty good. Hopefully it's not placebo. Usually it is, but the butt dyno can really tell the difference. Now I looked over the footage, and yeah, it's quite a bit faster. What I was able to calculate, and y'all can do it too, just let me know what y'all got in the comment section as far as the times. What I was able to calculate, and again, it's going to be off, just human error, was 6.35 seconds on the 0 to 60 time. And now again, it might be 100th of a second off, or 1,000th, but it's very noticeable. It's not no 0.1 second off, it's not 0.2, it's quite a bit off. I mean, it's quite a bit difference. It's about the same amount of difference as it was when I put on the headers. So, yeah, I hope it's not the ethanol throwing it off a little bit, because I don't know if, because I know that ethanol burns cooler. It makes the intake temps a little bit cooler too, but it is a pretty significant temperature difference and humidity differences. Humidity here is usually around 95%, so yeah, and I hope my calculations are all right, and it looks like it did gain around 36 horsepower at the crank, so that's around like 20 something horsepower to the wheels it gained just for it being cold. So I can't imagine what it's like for boosted cars, because this right now is boosted weather. So yeah, so I guess that sums up the video. I got some pretty good information now. Now I can say cold weather does in fact increase your 0 to 60 time. This is not going to be exact, obviously. There's going to be a lot of variables in this. But still, I was able to get some sort of information from this, just testing it. So that's going to sum up the video. I got some pretty impressive numbers just for being a 40-degree difference in temperature. That's pretty insane on how much horsepower you get from that. It's a free mod, I guess, if that's what you want to say it is. But yeah, so I was pretty intense on just the numbers. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're not already, subscribe to the channel, and I will see y'all next video.